Going back to work after having a baby. When's the right time? One of the toughest choices parents need to make after having a child is when or if they should return to work. It's common to feel guilty for even thinking about going to work. However, long gone are the days where one parent can permanently stay at home and live off the other parent's wage. If you're a single parent, you definitely won't have that luxury. Therefore, it's often more of a necessity for parents to work these days. Or maybe you actually enjoy your career and it's important for you to return. These days it is possible to be a parent and a career person, yet there is still a lot of stigma surrounding working moms in particular, which is unfortunate. Whatever the situation is, deciding when to go back can be difficult. If you're struggling to make a decision, in this video you'll discover everything you need to know, along with some useful advice on choosing the right time to go back to work. Planning ahead. How soon should you agree to go back? If you're planning on having very little time away from work after giving birth, you may be wondering just how quickly you can return. You'll likely have seen several high-profile women in the media who have given birth and returned within 2 weeks. It makes it look like giving birth is a fairly easy, straightforward, and routine task. However, what you need to know if you're expecting your first child is that even the most straightforward of births can really take their toll on the body, both physically and emotionally. 2 weeks afterwards, you're highly unlikely to be in any fit state to return. Not only does your body need time to recover from the birth itself, but you'll also need to recover from the initial shock of having a baby. Sleepless nights, getting into a good routine, and dealing with the general changes that come once you've had an infant are going to take a lot longer than 2 weeks to adjust to. So if you're just in the planning process right now, resist the temptation to agree to go back within 2 weeks. Trust me, you'll be glad you did once your little one arrives. So just how quickly should you return? Well, it all depends on your individual circumstances. Generally speaking, the normal amount of time considered acceptable to wait is a minimum of 6 weeks. However, many women recommend taking at least 4 months off. Useful questions to ask yourself. There's no set time limit on when you should and shouldn't return to work. It all comes down to your own preferences and requirements. Some women feel ready to return within 6 weeks, while others are still unable to return to a normal routine for months. Therefore, it helps to ask yourself a few questions to determine when the right time is for you. Let's take a look at some of the best questions to ask before making a decision. 1. How taxing is your job and how many hours will you be working? The less taxing your job is, the sooner you'll be able to return. We've already established giving birth has a major impact on your body, and it needs time to recover. If your job involves a lot of heavy lifting and physical work, you risk prolonging your recovery and potentially injuring yourself. Not to mention the fact that a physically demanding job is going to leave you exhausted by the time you get home. Similarly, the less hours you work, the easier it will be to transition back into the workplace. Starting out by working part-time before you finally return to full-time work is highly recommended. You'll find it much easier to juggle being a working mom if you're only working 16 to 20 hours a week. 2. Is your employer going to allow rest breaks? Many new parents find that they need several breaks throughout the day when they first return to work, especially if their babies are causing many sleepless nights. Without these breaks, you'll soon find yourself getting overexhausted. Just 2 to 3 minute breaks throughout the day can help massively, so find out how your employer feels about this before deciding whether or not to go back. 3. Are you breastfeeding or bottle feeding? Whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, it won't affect your ability to go back to work. However, with breastfeeding, you'll need to take several factors into consideration. For example, is there anywhere at work you're going to be able to nurse or pump your breast milk? If your little one will be taken care of by someone else while you're working, you'll still need to pump your breast milk to avoid walking around with uncomfortable breasts. 4. Do you have a good routine set up? You're always going to worry about leaving your baby, it's natural. However, without a proper routine, you'll end up worrying about all kinds of things. This in turn will affect the work you do, and you'll find yourself not performing as well as you could at work or at home. So, prior to returning to work, develop a solid routine that others can take over once you're not there. Allow others to step in and feed your little one or put them down for naps. That way, your baby won't suddenly be confused or distressed by the fact that you're not there. And finally, 5. Is it financially doable? The main reason many parents return to work quickly is down to finances. They simply cannot afford to take extra time off, especially if they don't have a good maternity package in place. However, unless you have a partner, friend, or family member who can step in to help, you're going to need to factor in the cost of childcare. Can you afford daycare or to hire a babysitter? Add this to the cost of actually getting to work and the income you'll be receiving to work if it's viable. It's worth pointing out here that there are no right or wrong answers to the questions we just discussed. Nobody can tell you whether it's the right time to return to work. Only you know that. Sometimes the hardest thing is letting go of the guilt. Studies have actually shown that returning to work within a few months of giving birth has absolutely no impact on an infant. So if you're worried about causing your little bundle of joy trauma and separation anxiety, there really is no need. Overall, deciding when to go back to work is one of the toughest decisions you'll make. Work out the advantages and disadvantages, and then decide what's right for you and your family. Try not to let anybody else's opinion influence you. This is a decision only you can make, and you need to feel comfortable with. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, we would really appreciate it if you click the like button to let us know, as well as hopping on over to our website and signing up for our email newsletter by clicking the link in the description. By signing up, you'll not only be the first to hear about our new releases, but you also get exclusive goodies that are only given to our email subscribers. Additionally, the next time you're looking to buy baby products, I encourage you to take a look at what we have available. Let me tell you, we aren't just out to make a profit, and pride ourselves on our high-quality products and excellent service. All Starlight Baby products are laboratory tested to ensure they are 100% safe for you and your baby, which unfortunately isn't something every company can say. Finally, if your question wasn't answered in this video, or there's anything you'd like to say, please let us know by leaving a comment below. I promise you that we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You're also welcome to join the parenting community on our website, where you can talk with hundreds of other parents in a matter of minutes. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and here's to making a positive difference in the lives of our children and the world as a whole.